Hello, welcome to Pike Creek Farm. My name is Renee, and today I'm home working and I'm on my lunch break, and I've been doing the pantry challenge, so I was kind of going through my pantry, which is kind of messy, to be honest with you. I'll have to show you. But I found a cake mix that I had bought when I was making some cake balls for some family events. So I thought I will use this up. We have no sweets in the house right now. All the cookies are gone, and my husband likes his sweets. So I'm going to make what's called a darn good chocolate cake. It is from the Cake Doctor book, and she doctors up cake mixes. I'm not going to follow it exact because you're supposed to add a box of pudding, which I don't have, and you're supposed to use a mix that doesn't have the pudding in it, and this mix does have the pudding, so it's gonna all be good. I've done it before and it works out great, and it's like a triple chocolate cake, and I usually make it in a Bundt pan because you don't want a real heavy frosting or anything on it. Sometimes I just put a light glaze. So got my apron on. Let's get to making this cake quick that I can put on during work, and it'll be ready for us when we have dinner tonight. I have my oven on preheating to 350, and I'm gonna put the mix. I always hate opening these up because I'm afraid they're gonna explode on me. Now, I do make homemade cakes from scratch. I make a mayonnaise cake that is popular with my family, and I do have a video on that. But it's nice to have cake mixes on hand for convenience too. And they're versatile. You can do lots of different things with them. So you add 4 eggs to this. I'm going to use some store-bought eggs, not my chicken eggs from my chickens, which they're finally starting to produce a little again. And I only have 5 hens, so we don't get mass quantities. But boy, have I been missing them, and with the price of eggs lately, yikes. So 4 eggs. Half a cup of vegetable oil. And 1 cup of sour cream or Greek yogurt. You can use plain Greek yogurt. I do that quite often. But I did have some sour cream still left in the fridge. And a half a cup of warm water. So now we're just going to mix this all up. Now we're going to add 1.5 cups of mini chocolate chips. And to be honest, I don't usually measure this, but I am today. It's like 3/4 of a bag. We're just going to blend them in using the spatula. The mini chocolate chips are better at staying in and not sinking to the bottom. And I have read, I didn't do it this time, I have done it a few times in the past, if you mix the chocolate chips with either some flour or some cocoa, because then it doesn't turn it white, and sift the excess off, that helps them to stay in the middle of the batter too and bake that way. So here is my pan I'm going to use. Wow, that was klutzy. I need to spray it. And now we will put in the batter. Spread it out evenly. And I'm going to put it in at 350 for 40 to 45 minutes, and I'll bring you back. This is just out of the oven. The timer went off and I had it at 45 minutes, and I maybe should have done it a minute or two less. It is coming up clean except for where the chocolate chips rub on it. But this, I'll let it sit for a few minutes, and I'm going to put the plate on top and flip it. And hopefully usually it flips out pretty good from this pan, and I probably jinxed myself now and part will come off. But if it does, it doesn't matter. I just take it out of the pan, put it on top, and the glaze will glue it together. Okay, I am going to flip it now and let it sit till it loosens up. I told you I jinxed myself. Part of it stayed in the pan. So I am going to take a spatula and loosen that up. I should have floured the pan, but I was in a hurry because I was on lunch break. If any sticks in the pan, I just take the spatula. It's because of the chocolate chips in it. And stick it back on, and that was all. This side turned out fine. And I'm going to let this cool, and then I will mix up a frosting and icing for it. If I have canned frosting, I will take half of it and put in the microwave until it melts and drizzle that over. But we're going to make a homemade one because I have lots of powdered sugar and cocoa, and we're going to make it that way. Ready to make the glaze icing now. I have 2 tablespoons of melted butter. To that, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of cocoa. And about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. And I'm gonna mix this up and get it smooth. Now we're gonna add about 3 tablespoons of milk. One cup of powdered sugar, and you can add more milk, water, half and half, or even whipping cream to get it to the consistency that you want. A little too thin for me, and so gonna add some more. I keep adding in 1/4 cup increments until I get it the consistency that I want. But I want it to stick on the cake some, just not all pool down on the plate. This is just a Hershey's powder, simple icing recipe. It feels thick now. And it still runs. I'm going to add just a little bit more. It's coating the back of the spoon well. Now it will pool on the edges, but it's sticking to the top too. Now this is better if I let it sit and set up, and then I'll add some more on top. But I have a fresh pot of coffee and I want to show you what it's like. So I've been smelling chocolate. I've been smelling chocolate while I'm working. And I want some cake now. It's a good cake. When you doctor it up like this, it doesn't taste like a mixed cake anymore. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you'd like to see more recipes on baking and cooking and canning, because I love canning, and vintage recipes, subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here, and I look forward to hearing from all of you. See you next time at Pike Creek Farm.